to the St. Louis Region Childhood Community Leader monthly stakeholder meeting. It's so great to see everyone. I'm just going through here. Oh, hey, Kara. Hey, Maggie. So good to see all you guys. Larry. Hey, Larry, we got to talk about your book basket. You know about the book basket, Larry? Oh, you're muted.
Yes, I do. I heard
Okay,
about
I
it.
got to give it. You heard we had everybody fill out this survey, and then as an incentive to taking the survey, you got put in a raffle for a basket of books and a gift card. And Larry won it.
Cool.
So,
Yay.
yay.
Can I donate that to our early childhood program?
Yes, absolutely.
Well,
Absolutely.
we'll talk about it, but it's early childhood center in Melville.
Wonderful. Wonderful. And I can just get it to you and you could take it to him.
I love it.
All
Thank you.
right. Hello, everyone. We're just going to wait another minute. Oh, Joanne, you're here. Brooke. 2 days in a row, Brooke. Nancy, it's great to see you. Spargo. And Donna. Wow, Candace. I love seeing everybody's face. Casey. So I'm going to I'm going to share the PowerPoint. We're just going to go through the agenda. You're used to me being here with Tiffany Herbert and Kelly Hantak. Um, Thanks, Casey. And they are both actually, one is at the hospital with her father, and one is at the hospital with her husband. I am solo, and so bear with me. But we have some amazing guests with us today, and we really want to open it up to a lot of questions and resources and thoughts, your thoughts and ideas. So, welcome. Let's see if I can go to the next slide. Um, Proud to be Missouri's early childhood community leader for the St. Louis region. I am Lisa Greening, Director of Turn the Page STL, which is St. Louis's chapter of the Campaign for Grade Level Reading. The other chapter in our state is in Kansas City, and it is called Turn the Page KC. You're familiar with it. And Tiffany would normally be here, and Kelly. Tiffany's with the City of St. Charles School District, and Kelly is with United for Children. So we're going to start out with welcome and introductions. And I really want you guys to think about something that you can um, share with us that's really a bright spot, something that's really bright that's going on in the St. Louis region around early childhood. And then we're going to have a fantastic presentation here by Dr. Mel Fitzgerald and Tracy Stanton. You guys were very interested in um, learning about resources for mental health, resources for our little kids. And these are the experts here from the state, and we're going to learn a lot. We're also going to review our survey. We're going to talk a little bit about Missouri Family Resources and Dolly Parton's Imagination Library. And want everybody to be aware then of our upcoming 2026 Early Educators Appreciation event that happens here in St. Louis. All right, so this is the part where I'm going to go off screen. I'm going to stop share. Please put your name and your organization in the chat. But at the same time, come off mute and tell everybody what is going on at all your great organizations.
I'll jump in.
Yay.
Hi, everybody. I'm Nancy Spargo. I'm with Herman Center for Child and Family Development at WashU. It's good to see some of my friends here. I am excited to share that we have developed a new service delivery model for mental health services to early childhood populations called the sequential model. It involves 3 tiers, the assessment tier, the short-term intervention tier, and long-term intervention tier. and we will be studying that to determine its impact on engagement and outcomes with young children and their families.
Fantastic. How long will this pilot go for?
It's not a pilot. We're launching March 2nd, and then the studies will commence. And we will, as with anything new, we will continually reevaluate and make changes based upon the results.
Sounds great. That sounds great. Please share more when it's released, or send out information to this whole group about it.
I was going to
Um,
say, I'm happy to share with this group at a different meeting.
yeah,
We
or
have a community advisory board meeting every other month that backs up against this meeting that starts at 1. And so I would have to just schedule on the off month.
yeah, or send us. That sounds great. That sounds great. Anybody else? I know things are doing going well here. I know things are hard too. Yes, Maggie.
So we're really excited here in St. Charles. We are in the process of launching a new early literacy kindergarten readiness program here. We've reached out to the parents and teachers groups in St. Charles County already to tell them that this is launching. So it's called the Kindergarten Entry Skills, or KEYS. The Y is little, so it's mainly our story times and things have always incorporated the Every Child Ready to Read practices already, which is through the Public Library Association. And we are going to still be incorporating that, but just including more kindergarten readiness specific practices and pointing them out more to parents and caregivers, and just kind of be more intentional about it. So we're really excited to start incorporating that into our story times starting soon. And then in the fall, at least a few of our branches, we're going to start doing very specific programs that are kindergarten readiness specific and KEYS centered, at least once a month at a few of our branches. And so it'll be 10 months out of the year. We'll cover like specific kindergarten readiness things like reading readiness, math readiness, motor skills, things like that, each month. And then over the summer months will be kind of more of a free for all to welcome kids that are about to go into kindergarten, or it'll be like a graduation ceremony for kids that are finishing up the program. So kind of a hybrid of that. So keep an eye out for that. We're going to kind of be packaging it and promoting it. And if anybody wants to help us with like statistics and things to track that, I mean, like it's tricky for public libraries because we don't get all the data that schools get. So we are open to any and all help that anybody here has.
Maggie, yes, and this group, you guys remember, you can reply all to everybody in this group. You don't have to like go through me or anything like that. So if you have any things, that transition to kindergarten is one of the key factors that fails so many of our children. And so hats off to you. I also would say you might want to look at the state kindergarten observation form and the kindergarten pre-K observation form. Those are pretty much state mandated now, and they have a lot of benchmarks if anybody else has other thoughts. What do I have?
There's a couple
Hi, everybody, I'll jump in.
Oh,
Can you hear me?
yes.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Joanne Suda. I'm wearing two hats. I'm in the Special School District Board of Education. And at next Tuesday's meeting on our CSIP, we will be approving the beginning of an early childhood training plan to start taking place in 27-28. So we're really working on our early childhood with our partner districts. And then I'm part of the Early Education District Coalition. And Senator Tracy McCreary has once again submitted legislation to allow for expansion of early childhood programs in St. Louis County through the school districts. So we're excited about that, and I would love to see universal pre-K become a reality.
Anybody else? And then I'll go to the chat, even though I prefer you just coming off mute and telling us. Um,
I'll go.
Casey. Oh,
Hi, my name is Esmery Swisher. This is my first time attending this meeting. I
mhm.
am the community program coordinator at the Herman Center. And great news, we have openings. So if anybody wants to
Oh,
hear what we do, our services, we're open to receive more families and kiddos. So please feel free to reach out.
that's great.
Thank you.
Put, Esmery, can you put in the chat a little, like the link to your website so people know
Perfect.
exactly what your organization? That is
Thank
great.
you.
All right, Casey.
Hi, Casey Hansen, Deputy Director with Kids Win Missouri. A couple of things I'm excited about. Last week, I will just say last Thursday, we had a nice community engagement event in St. Louis with a handful of legislators. So we had Senator Beck and then Representatives Walsh and Hruza. So great conversations happening around early childhood with them. As you may know, the budget in Jeff City budget discussions are happening right now. We have a very tight budget at the state level. And so just working really to maintain the progress that we've made in early childhood investments over the last couple of years with increased funding for pre-K, for childcare, and all of those things. So I will drop a link for Child Advocacy Day. You can get
Yay.
to it at childadvocacyday.org or via our Kids Win Missouri website. But this is an annual event that brings together over 500 advocates from around the state every year. It'll be taking place this year on March 25th, so it's free of charge to come. I know other partners like Gateway Early Childhood Alliance will also be bringing a bus down, so be on the lookout for more information about that from them locally. But this year, we're also offering a Child Advocacy Day Summit. So if you want to come down a day early, you'll have the opportunity to do about a half day of trainings. And that's just an opportunity to hear even more on different topics related to children's advocacy. So we'll do some sessions on early childhood. We'll also have sessions around health and mental health and child welfare, but then also, some advocacy training sessions so you can get ready to go to the Capitol the next day. So that's all very exciting. And then my friend Mackenzie Grayson, many of you probably know, she could not be here today, but she has just started working on the Best Start for Kids campaign. And so she asked me to share some information about how you can get involved with the Best Start for Kid campaign. This is an effort to get some dedicated funding to early childhood in St. Louis City and County. So I will defer to Mackenzie, but I'll drop the information if you want to reach out to her and get involved with that effort.
That's amazing, Casey. Yes, we need more money in childcare. We need more money for families. And wouldn't it be amazing if we all went on Child Advocacy Day together? That would just be so fun. I mean, if people are really interested and they don't have transportation and they want it, just give me a call because we'll be there. We will be there. So thank you so much. Anybody else? And I can look in the chat here too.
Yeah, I can talk really quickly about some things that St. Louis Public Library is up to. So we just finished our last scheduled read it for the spring. So we had Michael Threets here at the library, and we were able to hand out like a few hundred copies of his book. I think 1,000 copies of his book to free to kids at a couple different schools, and then in the public all over the city. We are working on a family literacy workshop series as well at the library. We piloted it last fall, and then this spring we're launching it at a few different locations all over the city. That it's a free workshop that's just an hour long for parents of not pre-readers, but like readers that are reading a little below grade level in that like kindergarten to fourth, fifth grade range that need a little extra support at home so that we can empower parents to give them some like very practical, tangible tools to be able to work with their kids and support them and as well as the support that they're getting at school. So again, that's called This Family Reads Family Literacy Workshops. We have 5 of them going on
Right.
this spring, and one of them is virtual. 4 of them are in person, one of them is virtual. So you just have to register for them for free through the library website. And it's a really good resource for families. So I'm really excited about that. We also have a literacy expert series going on that we have a few people from the community coming in and just doing some free like roundtables, workshops, different things to help both educators and parents kind of like fill in that gap for their kids that are working on those early literacy skills still. So
Tara, you don't mind putting both flyers in the chat, do you? About
yeah, I can
both
throw those both in there.
opportunities or a link? Um, that's wonderful. I know Brenda Butler here really quickly. It's loud at Springboard today, but their bright spot is they're continuing a new partnership with Guardian Angel Early Head Start this spring, providing arts integration, job embedded professional development for their educators and providers. That is fantastic. Um, I love seeing all these people here. Um, thank you, thank you, thank you. Anybody else?
Lisa, I'll throw mine was way at the top, but I think it's just a testament to the community. I think most of you may have saw, but happy to announce that this is the last 5 out of 6 years that 9PBS has been voted, or really the most watched PBS station in the nation. So a testament to the community for your support in, really putting on PBS, whether that's for your kids or for you as an adult. We are very honored to have the support of our community for quite an achievement as the most watched PBS station. So continue continue watching PBS because it is quite an achievement, and we're very thankful to the community for supporting us on air. So just happy to announce that for the community.
When I think of a bright spot in St. Louis, when I think of a one of the first things I think of is our 9PBS channel. So keep up the amazing work. And there's so much resources that they bring out to the community for the our youngest children. So bother Brooke as much as you can and get those resources. Um, so that's wonderful. Well, I would like to welcome Dr. Mel Fitzgerald and Tracy Stanton. They're going to be discussing early childhood programs from their Center for Child Wellbeing at the University of Missouri. It's been so important for us to get our arms around the resources that we can provide for families and children that continue to be in spaces of trauma and toxic stress. So take it away, Tracy.
Thank you so much, everybody. It was so exciting to hear all the amazing things that are going on around the St. Louis area. As a resident and a major watcher of the PBS in St. Louis, so love that. My husband watches it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I think he knows every show. So thanks for that. And their programs that they do in the summer are phenomenal. So I just want to add to that is such a great service. So totally appreciate that and everything else in the library and all those things that are going on. Wow, we have got a lot going on in St. Louis and it is really spectacular. So thank you for everybody for all your hard work. As Lisa shared, my name is Melanie Fitzgerald and I am from the Center for Child Wellbeing, and I'm going to let Tracy introduce herself. I'm new to the center. I started in July, and we're going to share about our programs that we have to offer around the state.
Hi, I'm Tracy Stanton. I also work with Mel through the center. We work with the infant early childhood mental health consultants, and Mel is our lead for the inclusion project. So I've been working since July as well, but previously I spent several years before offering training. So we're going to talk a little bit about the services we're able to provide for our childcare staff and programs. And Mel's going to take it away.
Okay, so as you can see on the first slide, we are from the Center for Child Wellbeing. And on the next slide that Tracy's going to move forward for me, this is just basically our scope of work. Our mission and our vision there is to empower those who care for children. So we work with child care workers. We also work with directors. We are starting a directors support group that is starting at the end of this month for any child care directors. And we have some information to share with them on how to support the workers in their centers. But then also, it is just going to be a roundtable discussion so that they can learn and share with each other. So that's one way that we're supporting the child care centers. And our mission is rooted in the belief that every child deserves a strong foundation to reach their fullest potential. That's our website right there. So mochild at wellbeing.org. On a few of the slides coming up, though, you will also have QR codes in which you can access our information there as well. So you can see we have a lot of programs that come out of the Center for Child Wellbeing, and Tracy and I are here to represent those early childhood programs. So Audrey Soria, let me just start there. She is our director of all the early childhood programs. So she's got a lot on her plate. Here are all the programs that she supervises. So some of them are more local in the Columbia area, but then our infant and early childhood mental health program and our inclusion services program that is just getting off the ground and running is run statewide. And so those are our statewide programs that we can talk to you about. And also, those other two are pretty locally run in Columbia. And Tracy's going to talk about the next few slides, and then I'll come back and wrap it up.
Thank you, Mel. So as we mentioned, we are part of the Infant Early Childhood Mental Health Initiative, and what our work entails is providing support to classrooms and programs that have children that may have some challenging behaviors and or not quite met their social emotional competencies, and we're here to support the workforce. That's a little different than helping the children. Mel will talk a little bit more to that, and then we can speak more to how we help children. But as you'll notice, the first thing that is on the workforce is we follow the pyramid model, and we look at supporting that workforce, and we offer trainings virtually as well as in person. As we get up to and we know obviously in our classrooms when we look at the blue area of environments and relationships, but then we also provide the targeted support for children that need a little bit more support specifically. And when we get up to that intensive intervention, we have what's called a PTRYC, Prevent, Teach, Reinforce, which also includes the parents. We are able to provide support to childcare programs throughout the state, as Mel mentioned. We are a statewide initiative. We have consultants all around the state. We're hiring more and more, which is exciting to be able to offer the support. It's it's unfortunately don't have consultants in every area, but we're still working on that. The one thing that we do require is that they have to have a DBN. This is our work is funded out of the Office of Childhood, and they do require the programs to have a DBN for us to offer that support. The QR code, like Mel mentioned, will take you to our website that teachers, parents, directors, other support staff can offer and create a referral for a situation or a classroom if need be. And as I mentioned, we do follow the pyramid model, and in that we look at these 5 classroom practices. Research tells us that if these 5 Big Bang strategies are in place, that 80% of our challenging behaviors will be resolved by children having those 5 Big Bangs, right? Having that 5-to-1 positive interactions, having that connection, obviously the predictable schedule, the routines. One thing that I always think is interesting is that sometimes we forget about teaching social skills, and that's one of the things that's really important for us to do, especially now that we were talking earlier about a lot of the trauma that our children have experienced. So kind of going back and reteaching some of those social skills to children, helping them be in a group setting, and navigating that space and their emotions and their feelings, but also really just teaching what the behavior expectations are. We know that children misbehave when they don't know what's expected. So those that is kind of what guides our work. So we kind of look to help make sure that those five things are in place in those classrooms, and then we can kind of get into the meat of it once those are in place.
Tracy,
As I
would you mind
mentioned,
if I add something to that
oh,
slide?
please go right ahead.
So, as Tracy was talking about the Big Bang strategies, when you look at using a ratio of 5 to 1 positive attention responses to children in the classroom, that is really at the bottom part of the pyramid, that nurturing responsive relationships, which is so vital and crucial to children in early childhood. That is, the one piece that we feel we can really help and support coaches on. So as we coach the educators, they can learn and find these strategies that will, as Tracy shared, decrease the challenging behaviors in their classroom for almost 80 to 85% of the students before we have to go through the rest of that multi-tiered support system of those targeted emotional supports, such as second step social emotional curriculum, and then also working with the educators around some of the conscious discipline strategies as well, and utilizing some of those to support them so that they can support the children. Thank you, Tracy.
Sure, thanks for adding that.
Fantastic.
So as I mentioned, when we look at that pyramid model, there is that top tier, and this is kind of where we look at that prevent, teach, reinforce. And this is really when it's a team approach. We work with the classroom teachers, the families, the educators, the programs staff, just to really help really work individualized to help support that child. And we don't go on site to all of our programs, but this would require a little bit more of our presence. So this is what we look at on that top tier of that pyramid model. And sometimes we have teachers that feel like we're here. So we kind of walk through that pyramid model to see, is this the step we need to take? Are there other things we can put in place with those five strategies prior to the prevent, teach, reinforce young child? So that's kind of what we look like. That's our infant early childhood mental health initiative side. And one other thing that we offer, like Mel mentioned, the trainings. Professional development is so important, and we really focus trainings that support that social emotional piece. One is the ages and stages questionnaire, helping educators have the tools to provide screening so that we can provide early intervention if it's necessary. As we mentioned, we follow the pyramid model. Mel mentioned we do offer second step training. And the great part about our trainings, because it is also a grant funded program, the providers receive the ASQ kits. They receive the second step kit. They receive materials to help support the implementation of some of the trainings that we offer, which I think is a big plus for our classroom teachers, that they receive the materials once they have the training and they know how to use those tools. We have lots of other trainings. We offer them both virtually as well as on site if programs need that. So that's a little bit of what we do. And then Mel's going to take it over. Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I just said amazing.
Oh, thank you, Lisa. Yeah. Mel's going to take over the inclusion piece.
I'm going to just take a step back on that last slide that Tracy had up, the intro to hope, because Lisa, we were talking earlier about trauma and the trauma that children experience. That's a really excellent presentation that Christy Roberts, if anybody's familiar with her, does, and it addresses the ACEs and the other trauma indicators. But also the cool thing about Intro to Hope is that it talks about how just one singular adult can impact a child's ACEs score and also impact their outcome, which is just so great. If you think about one person, one good adult in that child's life can help change those scores and change the outcome for that child. And, since we've had a lot of things happening in St. Louis more recently, I would totally recommend that if you have an opportunity to go to that training because it is really, really spectacular. Okay, thank you, Tracy. I'm sorry, I had to go back one slide. So
I'd
I'm
have
going
to
to
have
talk.
Christy on. I said we might have to have Christy on our next um,
Yeah,
meeting, and she can talk all about that. So it's great.
the intro to hope. Yeah, I think it's about an hour long presentation. So that might be a good one that you guys could share in your meetings. And she does a great job with that. If anybody knows Christy, she's outstanding and does really good presenting. She's been working with PAT for years, and now she's over here. So our child care inclusion services is also a statewide service that we offer. It supports all families and children birth to age 5 that has an identified or a potential learning difference. And some of the families that I've been talking to, we're working with them and helping them as they process through that evaluation process, either for first steps or for ECSE, and helping them go through that and explaining what that looks like. And then also, if they're in need of childcare, we're working with Childcare Aware to help them find childcare services that can support their child by getting them resources within the area. And then also working with those families on what are questions that you should ask when you go to those childcare centers so that you can see if it's going to be a good fit for your child that might have some learning differences. And then we also in the classroom, once the child is in a classroom, so if an educator or a director has filled out a referral, we can go into the classroom and help them work with the child so that they access the curriculum and all the materials along their general education peers. And so we would create an individualized inclusion action plan with that educator that would support that child's either current IEP goals or work with them and create a goal for that child if they have not yet gone through that evaluation process to help support the child in that class so that they have access to the educational environment. Also, this is how your centers are eligible. They also, just like the IECMH, have to be licensed or license exempt, active subsidy contract, and then also must have an active DVN number. And that is our inclusion referral QR code right there. So that's how you can access our services as well. That's our contact info for the Center for Child Wellbeing. And then on our website, there's also contact info. You can contact me for those inclusion services if anybody's interested in that. We're in the process right now of hiring a lead for the ICMH program. So we'll have their
Wonderful.
Yeah.
I just wanted to interject one thing prior
Oh,
before we
great.
get
Thanks,
into questions.
Tracy.
Yeah, just one thing before we get into questions. The best part about the initiatives and the services is that everything is free. So, that's one of the questions we get. The trainings are free. Anyone can attend our training. You don't have to necessarily be a part of our initiative to train to attend trainings. So anyone can attend our trainings virtually. But all of those trainings, our services, those kits, all those things are provided at no cost, which is a question we receive sometimes when we start the process with programs.
It's fantastic. I have one question in the chat, and I have one of my own. But what you refer to second steps? Can you explain what second steps is?
Sure. Second step is a social emotional curriculum that's specifically designed for preschool age children. It was developed for typically developing 4-year-olds, but we use it in mixed age settings. I've used it in my classroom for the past 7 years, and it goes through a series of lessons that they are scripted. There's puppets, there's pieces that go along, but it really walks through teaching those social emotional skills. So it partners so well with conscious discipline. A lot of programs are very familiar with conscious discipline, but the second step is an actual curriculum that we actually teach and it teaches the children, but it also teaches the teacher, right? It gives us those tools that we need. And as I said, it's great because lead teachers of the classroom that attend the training receive the second step kit so that they can teach that curriculum. They can provide that information, which, I always say, you go to those trainings and those workshops, you're like, oh, this is such a great thing, but oh, I don't have $500, so it is wonderful. And as I mentioned, you do not have to be a part of our program, our initiative to attend our training. And we actually have one coming up on March 21st. I'm the trainer for the state, so I kind of pushed it a little bit because I love it though.
How long
You have a
is
lot.
Go
Go
how
ahead.
ahead.
long is the training?
It's from 9 to 12.
Oh, it's just one day.
Yeah, it's just a 3-hour training. Yeah, a 3-hour training. It's virtually. We're going to be offering it some more trainings. But a lot of them are offered on Saturdays because it is a 3-hour training. But we do have a couple, an evening one thrown in there as well.
When is the next one?
March 21st. And if you follow that link, Marcia, you can get registered. We'll make sure we put it in the chat.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
that's classroom teachers receive the free kit there.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah,
And if
the lead
you're
teachers.
if you're an administrator or another role in the program, you receive except like the different kind of other materials to support the implementation of second step.
What about clock hours?
You get clock hours as well. Yeah. Again, and there is no cost. It's all available.
Thanks for asking that question, Marcia. That's a really good question. All of our trainings provide clock hours. Yeah, I might add to this information Tracy was sharing about the second step curriculum. It is a highly language-based curriculum in which it teaches the children all about language that is around emotional development. And it's in a sequential manner, and it comes in a big box with all of the great materials like Tracy was sharing. And so there's all kinds of pictures that talk about big emotions and little emotions, and it really helps the kids understand because then they look at pictures about it and explain it. So it's really language rich. What other questions do you guys have?
Lisa, you have a
Lisa
question?
Shear, you're up. You're on mute if you want to talk.
Oh, she's like, no, I don't need to talk. So
Okay. So the process for the supports in the classroom, when you come into the classroom, what is the waiting list like for support in the classroom?
Currently, right now, we don't have a wait list.
Spread the news. I know Marcia's like, I always think we have so many great resources, and we just need to make sure that everybody knows about them and spreads the words and tells other people about them.
Can I share a little bit about that process, what that looks like for the IUCMH program?
Absolutely.
And so what that looks like is somebody would come in, first you fill out the referral form, then you get contacted, and then someone comes in and does an observation. And with that educator, they would create an action plan in which they help the educator choose a goal on what they would like to work on in their classroom based upon either those 5 big bang strategies or what we refer to as classroom universals, or in the pyramid model, they call them classroom essentials. So making sure that the best practices are already being implemented in the classroom. And if they're not, then we create a goal with that educator, and then we help them through materials and other information, if you will, and resources, and help them reach that goal. And then if they reach that goal, they might create another goal, or they might be like, hey, I am doing great. You have really taught me a lot, and we're going to move on from there. And then if there's a specific child that is struggling, that's where we go to that PTR plan like Tracy was talking about. Tracy, you got anything to add? Did I leave anything out?
no, but I did put the link in the chat. So that link will take you to our website and there you'll see all the programs that are offered as well as the trainings.
Phenomenal. Anybody else? The good news is we can contact you, Tracy and Melanie, whenever we want.
That's
Or
great.
Mel, I'm sorry, Mel.
It's fun.
Love it.
I apologize, guys. I was on another meeting wrapping up. Did you guys need me to say something? I apologize.
No, no, we thought you were raising your hand.
No,
Then,
thank you.
no worries, Lisa. All right. Well, I'm going to, no more questions, no more questions. I
Thank you.
love what Dr.
I
March
stated
just,
in the yeah. Thank you, Lisa. You getting ready to state it for me. I appreciate it.
yeah.
Thank you so
I
much for
will
the
make
time.
sure the follow-up email has everything we have in the chat, has everything
Thank
that
you.
we discussed about.
I'm
Absolutely.
because I'm mobile right now, and I've been listening to everything. All great stuff. Second step curriculum is a great supplemental resource to use for that social emotional development. Everything that everybody's saying is right on point with being able to help the kiddos to express themselves appropriately. And then also, like you said too, with the teachers, it helps them to be able to learn how to help regulate themselves as well as the students. So I am definitely interested in all that's been presented, and especially the ASQ screening as well. I was just on a call with a LEA partner, and they have to have those screenings as a part of the QAR. Now,
Oh,
it's a part of the QAR with the and I'm not saying with the QAR with the MOQPK grant. It's a part of that, excuse me. So I want to make sure I'm articulating myself well. It's a part of that. And so they were saying like, hey, I'm not as familiar with the ASQ screening. So thank you for presenting that on that as well.
And can I mention, Dr. Marsh, it's nice to see you and hear from you. We also can offer on-site training if we have 10 or more. If that would be something that might be
Yeah,
something that would meet the
we've
needs
been
of that.
talking. Yeah,
Mhm.
we didn't get a chance to meet because I had in December, um, I had went through a health scare. So it really impacted everything. So I appreciate everybody grace and patience with me as I had gotten myself what I needed to be healthy so I could be healthy for others. But in picking up the pieces, Stacy, what I do is I convene lots of different sites. So I'll maybe have a train at the Del Mar Divine
Mhm.
and have several different partners that can come. So I always have a 10 plus, and I kind of max it out like 25 so it could be meaningful.
Yeah, we can do that, and they could all, like I said, they also receive the kit, which allows them to immediately be able to administer those screens, so we can help support with that
Woo-hoo.
as well.
We
Let's
can,
do it. Now these is a difference between the child care centers and the LEAs. Can the LEAs take part in this? And no, LEA would be the public charter schools. So can you find out about them specifically? The
Yeah, I can,
difference?
yeah,
Melanie, I see you shaking your head.
yeah, we can find out and see if
Mhm.
that would be doable for those LEA and those other schools. So we'll have to find out. Tracy, will you
Yeah,
find
because they
out?
all receive those MOQPK grants.
Yeah.
So like Atlas, uh what's another one, SLIS, St.
Hmm.
Louis Language Immerse. So they have to produce evidence that they are doing different things such as the QAR, and then in addition to that
Hmm.
some other things as well, which I know you're familiar with. I don't want to take up too much of everyone's time.
I did want to add too, the other great piece about the second step is it has a parent component in which every
Yes.
lesson sends home a
Mhm.
parent letter about what they're working on and then how they can reinforce that at home. That's a really great piece of second step too.
I
All
love
right,
making
thank
these
you so much.
connections. Dr. March and Mal and Tracy, I love making these connections. And I hope
Thank
everybody
you.
here will also think about how they can provide more of these supports to their community and stakeholders.
Yes,
Um,
Lisa, you're wonderful at making those connections. Thank you again.
of course. I also want to welcome I'm sharing my screen now. Um, Tiffany Herbert is here in the house. So welcome. Tiffany, you want to say hi? Oh,
Hi, everyone. Sorry I was a little bit late, but glad to jump in and join. That was an awesome training. Thank you, Mel and Stace or Tracy. That was awesome. Thank you.
Fantastic. So we have a few other things to go through today. Know that, you can come off mute. Tiffany and I will answer your questions. Casual last 15 minutes here. I do want you, hey, Tiffany, I don't mean to, are you at a place where you could share the links in the chat?
Yes, I will do my best.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. And so thank you all for completing that St. Louis Region Childhood Community Leader Survey. I've already told Larry he's the winner, so we got to get him his books and his gift card. Um, so thank you all for filling out that survey. You can see all the survey results in our shared Google Drive that you all have access to. And Tiffany hopefully can pull it down and put it in the, if not, I can do it at the end of the meeting. Um, nothing, nothing surprised us in this survey, but what it really showed was in St. Louis region, St. Charles, St. Louis County, St. Louis City, workforce development is a huge issue for our early childhood teachers and support and any stakeholder. Actually, we're here with first steps, and parents as teachers, and we all need continuous workforce development. Funding. I'm surprised that wasn't number one, because that is that is such a hurdle in this country, I will say. And so as we continue to find additional funding, especially like what Casey Hansen was talking about earlier, other avenues of getting funding. And then family knowledge of available early childhood resources. So we've got all these resources, right? We have Tracy, we have Mel, but how do we make sure that the families know about this and our educators know about this? So, so the next steps is we're going to be sharing this survey information with the statewide Missouri Community Leader. Well, not just these three bullets, but everything in this survey. Whoops. Uh, so that at the state level, they understand and hear what's going on here in St. Louis region. Tiffany, do we want to go back and forth?
Sure.
Or
Absolutely. Um, Oh yeah, definitely. We are looking for, and for those of you that aren't familiar with our Missouri Family Resources, this is a great resource, a great tool to share with your families. And also, we want to make sure that you are looking at your organization, and if there is anything that you're not listed, one, let us know because we want to add you. And then also, if there's incorrect information as well, we want to make sure that we're getting that corrected for you. And then we would like to extend an invitation that for your organization, if you could attach this QR code or put it on your website as a reference for families and for other organizations as well. And if you would email any three of us, right? But if you email Lisa, but we'll make sure that we get it communicated. But if you could email Lisa and let her know that the Missouri Family Resources is linked to your website, that would be great.
our goal is 10 of your organizations linking it to your website. I know we can do this and know that you can reach out to me or Tiffany. Your website person can reach out to us too. And we'll just, not that I know how to put something on a website, but we'll make sure it happens.
We'll find people that can. We'll make those.
We'll find people that can. We'll find people that can. All right, now this is my favorite program out of the state of Missouri. You all know this program. We're getting a lot of people, a lot of families signing up. Every child in the state of Missouri, regardless of your income, gets a book. Every child ages birth through age 5 gets a book mailed, a really good, high quality children's book mailed to each child monthly. I will tell you, this is something that I just wanted that the budget is currently going to be slashed in half because, as Casey was saying earlier, this is a year where it's going to be difficult for Missouri to balance their budget. And so this is on the chopping block. There have been lots of families and educators pounding the door of the governor, and rather than him taking the whole program out, he's looking at reducing it by 50%. Um, let your voice be heard. Let your voice be heard and tell your legislators that children uh, need books. It's a great program. Ooh, and this is something several of you on here are part of this, but I just wanted to make the announcement. And can you put that? I want to make the announcement that our St. Louis Early Educators Appreciation event, and we extend it to St. Charles, is happening again. This year it's our 10th year. We will be at the Missouri Botanical Gardens, evening of Sunday, May 17th, 2026. There will be a phenomenal dinner, open bar, signature drinks, certificates for all who are nominated as early educators, and awards to the 5 top of $1,000. And we will have lots of great speakers. So right now, we're looking for nominations through March 15th, and we will get that.
I just put that in the chat, Lisa.
Oh, Tiffany, you're the best. So if you have an early, if even it can be a early educator in the classroom, it could be a home visitor, it could be a director, it could be somebody that's an advocate for childcare. Um, so last year we had close to 300 people attend, and that's what we're going to do again this year. We don't do enough of this. Okay, Tiffany, want to take it away?
Yeah, so our upcoming meetings, just a reminder, we are online the third Wednesday of every month, 12:30 to 1:30. If for some reason you aren't able to attend, we always say invite a friend in your place as well. So that we're not missing out on any information or great trainings like we had today. So looking ahead, March 18th, our next speaker is the Lisa Greening. She has a phenomenal she has a phenomenal PowerPoint about how our young children are learning to read. So it'll be really exciting. We're glad to have her share that with us. And then also on April 15th,
Google Drive.
okay. On April 15th, we are going to have Michaela King join us. And so it's going to kind of be like a listening session for the Office of Childhood. So they want to get some information from us, our thoughts, our opinions about the new strategic plan that is going to be coming out. It's a refreshed plan. So we will be sending that information out, right, Lisa?
Right. We
The
need
link.
everybody's input into this plan that will then be implemented starting midsummer. So this is for the state of Missouri, and we need St. Louis to be loud and clear what we need. So we will definitely get all of that information to you. So mark April 15th down. Not that you don't want to listen to me on March 18th, but definitely April 15th. And then we welcome anybody who what topics you'd like to learn. We will find speakers, or if you would like to speak about the work that you're doing, please contact us, and we're still looking for a speaker in May. And I'm sorry, I think
Lisa.
the nomination link is not working.
Oh,
Casey?
no.
Oh, I was just going to add to May 20th is like right after legislative session. If you wanted to do not even the whole thing, but if you wanted like a little update on changes that might have happened, like I said, there's a lot going on in budget, so I expect there could be some
That would be
changes
amazing.
changes that are impacting this community. So happy to do like a short update if helpful in May.
Very, very helpful. All right, I've already signed you down. You're signed up. That's wonderful, Casey. And if others want to join too and to speak, please, more the merrier. I apologize that we're not getting that nomination form for the, oh, it's
I
on there
think
now?
Christine, yeah, I think Christine
Okay.
was able to put the right one. I don't know why mine wasn't working, but yes. So Christine posted the right one.
Okay. Nominate your early educator for the 2026 St. Louis Early Educator Appreciation Event. By the end of the week or the earlier next week, you will get a constant contact email from me, and that will include the video of this webinar and meeting, notes, chat. You're welcome to share it with anybody that you want. A few shout outs and reminders, a big thank you to Mel and Tracy, and further information. All right.
And then our community leader Facebook page, we're always looking for you to join. And then also help us share out information. So feel free to post and share on our Facebook page. And feel free to share opportunities, training opportunities, opportunities for families. We're always looking for ways to kind of network that information. But in turn, also make sure that you're looking at it because we're posting those things too that we find.
We need more traffic. And we want to make sure that everybody gets that information or at least sees that information. That comes out daily, it seems like, something in our early childhood